What's up, YouTubers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. So we're jumping back into Hunt for Wolverine. I did the way I'm going to do these videos now, just because these books are starting to end. I can kind of focus more on what's going on in these stories, and we can just kind of dive right on into it. But especially with everything going on, we've had Death of Wolverine, we have Hunt for Wolverine, and now we're going to have Return of Wolverine. So just been, man, Marvel is milking the hell out of these Wolverine books. But yeah, hey, what can you do? But before we get started, if this is your first time checking out my channel and you want to see more awesome videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click, click. So anyways, last time we left off with Weapon Lost in Hunt for Wolverine, we discovered that someone that looks like Wolverine attacked a group of park rangers in Saskatchewan, Canada. Not only did this person attack those rangers, they also attacked Cypher, seemingly killing him. But the good news is, Cypher is not dead. He should be, but he ain't. Apparently, the way the Wolverine struck him with his claws didn't necessarily hit anything major, or well, it did, but didn't necessarily hit enough to kill him instantly. But when they try and get him back to Frank McGee's Skycharger, Daredevil notices something's up. This is when he realizes that the Skycharger, the metal that makes up its exterior, messes with Daredevil's radar sense. So since he's blind, Wolverine is hiding out in plain sight, and Daredevil's still not able to pick him up. And when Wolverine tries to attack while they're trying to get Cypher onto the Skycharger, this is also when we find out it's not Wolverine. It's Albert, Cyborg Wolverine, a character most people don't think a whole lot about because he was kind of the epitome of the 90s. But he was a character who had his first appearance in Wolverine Volume 2, number 37 back in 1991, so it's been a minute. He came out at an interesting time in Wolverine's publication history, that's all I'll really say, but he's made appearances here and there, but this is kind of the first time we've seen him in a little bit. The thing you really need to know about Albert is that he's a cybernetic clone of Wolverine, meaning he does have organic parts, he does look and appear human, but he also has cybernetic enhancements that were given to him when he was created by the Reavers. And the first thing that Daredevil realizes is that this guy fights pretty much as good as Wolverine does. But sometimes I think people forget that Daredevil is technically a trained ninja assassin. I mean, the guy can go toe-to-toe with just about anybody in the Marvel Universe when it comes to combat. And even with Albert's claws, he's still able to get the drop on him and even puts Albert on the run. And when they take Albert down, Cypher comes along, having seemingly been healed in the medbay of the Skycharger, and he makes sure that Albert doesn't get back up. And now with the trail seemingly having gone cold trying to find Wolverine, and it seems like this investigation has hit a dead end and everything's just gonna have to be wrapped up, this is when Cypher comes through. Remember, Cypher snuck back into the cabin to get that cell phone, which is what got him, almost killed in the first place. Now, granted, he was doing this for his own selfish reasons because he was craving input. He did manage to turn up some information. You see, there was a guy that they interviewed back when they were trying to run down all the leads on Wolverine, and this was something kind of like with the Adamantium Agenda video. There was a part I kind of skipped over because it just kind of seemed innocuous. It seemed like it wasn't anything to it. Well, there was a security guard who worked for Sotera. They didn't know that he worked for Sotera at the time, but apparently that is who he worked for. And he said that he spotted Wolverine and even tweeted about it, but immediately took the tweet down. But we don't really know the full reason why at the time, but we later learned it was likely not due to, some Wolverine character hunting him down, but because Sotera got to him first. And you gotta remember, Sotera is this secret clandestine organization. They don't want anybody knowing what they're doing or even getting close to what they're doing, even if it is coming from some weird social media guy who just happens to get famous on Twitter from time to time. The good news is that Cypher does trace everything back to this guy, and when they go back to this man's apartment, they discover that the man has already been killed. Not only that, but his apartment has been rigged to explode. Fortunately, thanks to Misty's bionic arm, she was able to shield them from the blast using its field generators, and they managed to, for the most part, escape unscathed. But this opens the case all the way back up, and this is when we find out that Frank McGee's special ability to use his eyes as a sort of camera actually really help out here, because right before the explosion went off, he actually got a look at the security guard, and this is when they uncover that this security guard worked for Sotera, and this is when they go in guns blazing trying to take the place down. At first, they only find a couple of pencil pushers who seem to be trying to delete Sotera's browser history, and this is when we see one of the Sotera kill teams come in, prepared to kill any and everyone who could possibly pose as a threat, even their own employees. Misty and Frank McGee are able to take these guys down, and once Daredevil and Cypher are able to get to the database, Cypher is able to get a little bit of the information before they deleted everything. And when they get this information, it kind of blows the whole case wide open. It's video footage of incidents that Satara has been directly involved in. They see people being killed in droves, mass murders, mass shootings. And at the end of it all, they find Wolverine. And during one of the interview segments of these videos, Wolverine is simply saying 5 words, and Daredevil himself says it, that these 5 words scared the hell out of him. Someone on the other end of that video camera asked Wolverine, what is his name? And he simply says, Logan, Wolverine. And then they ask, what will you do for us? And his only reply is, whatever you want. And this is the same Wolverine we saw at the end of Hunt for Wolverine #1, the one-shot. The same Wolverine that was sitting there popping his claws relentlessly and killing whoever they put in front of him. And now with the case over and Daredevil kind of seemingly at a loss, Frank McGee and Misty, they go their separate ways, even though they did kind of have a little bit of a brief tryst. Basically, we now know that they have some kind of a connection and they may hook up in the future, who knows, but Frank is definitely interested, but he's still carrying the torch for his wife who is estranged from him. And Cypher realizes that he needs help battling his addiction to internet knowledge. And then Daredevil has to make an uncomfortable phone call to Kitty Pryde, and he tells her the whole story. And this leads to her wanting him to come in and talk to the other investigative teams so that they can pull their resources together and figure out what's the next move. And this is when Daredevil tells her something that he doesn't want to tell her, but he knows it's the right thing to do considering everything he has learned about Sotera up to this point. And he has to admit, at the end of the day, Wolverine, regardless of what anyone feels about him, should have stayed dead. So now this opens up a lot of questions. What is up with this new Wolverine? Is this the legitimate Wolverine, or is this some kind of clone of Wolverine? Because see, that's really the weird part about it. Because we know, thanks to the Marvel Legacy one-shot and everything else that has come out after that, Wolverine seems to be in his right mind, and he doesn't seem like a crazed murder hobo, but I mean, this guy definitely seems like a nut job. He seems like a Wolverine who's easily capable of hiding his feral rage with just a blank stare. But anyways, this is the end of Weapon Lost, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. I know we got, Return of Wolverine coming up, and this is where we're going to get #Hot Claws, which has been met with, I don't know, it's been very polarizing to say the least, but we'll soon see what that's all about. Wolverine and his burning claws. Hey, I am always willing to reserve judgment, so who knows. But anyways, let me know what you thought about Hunt for Wolverine Weapon Lost. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button, and if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers and tap that bell so you know when I post up. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you all next time. Plus Ultra!